Alright, 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM listeners, we got the one, the only, in my personal opinion, one of the best South Coast rappers you already know. We have the one, the only, the boss, right here, right now, on the line. How are you doing tonight, boss?
What's up? What's up? What it do, man? I'm blessed, man.
I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm doing pretty good. I hope everything's all good on your end, man. The world's going crazy this time of year, man.
Oh, man, yeah, for real, Ain't lying on that.
But I gotta ask you, boss, what made you decide to get into the music industry initially?
Music, for me, I always had a passion, and I think it was Michael Jackson, man, the Jackson 5, man. As a youngest, seeing them on that stage, and Michael took, he took off solo, and seeing how the crowd was reacting, man, I was like, man, I want to be there one day. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, and one thing I noticed as well, man, that you were actually signed to Little Flip, man. I have to ask you, how did you meet Little Flip? Like, what's the story behind that?
Flip, I was always running to Flip, man, and plus we got like mutual friends, and so I was always like in the circle. I was already in the circle. He just didn't know who I was at the time, and like my work ethic is crazy. Like I'm everywhere. I'm by myself. You don't see no security, and I was always grinding. And one thing about Flip, and nobody don't know, Flip is like like I never seen nobody work harder than Flip. So Flip took a liking to me off of just my work ethic alone. Just seeing me out there getting it, and being successful by myself. So it was a blessing. He came to me. It was like, man, hey, I want to help you. And he took me with him. I went to the next level, man. He took me to a whole nother level, and I'm very thankful for that.
Hey, man, I'm gonna be honest. I grew up on Little Flip's music, man. So it must have been such a surreal moment for you whenever he actually, offered you a contract, man. Being able to work with Flip must have been a dream come true for yourself as a hip hop artist.
More than you know, man. It was spur of the moment. He caught me off guard because let me tell you how it happened. We had a car show in Beaumont. I'm originally from Beaumont, Texas. And we had a car show, and with me knowing Flip, I got Flip and Kiki in, put some money in their pockets. And that day Flip called me to the stage. He called me to the stage by my government name. Nobody called me by my government name. And when he called me to the stage, before I can get to the stage, man, he announced in my hometown that the cat he bringing to the stage is official. This the newest member of Clover-D Familia, man. He caught me off guard. He didn't give me no heads up. It wasn't no, nothing. It was just like the most shocking surprise ever. I was like, man, what? I think that night I shed tears and everything, man. It was very, very overwhelming, man. I was like, man, I can't believe this happened.
So when you heard your government name actually being announced, did you know that was Flip? Because I know within the music industry, sometimes, if you call someone by their government name, they're all like, oh, man, it's go time. Like, you know what I mean? You're going to get these hands, right?
Yeah, but that shows that we family, too, though, for him to even know my name. So, yeah, I was mad at first. I ain't going to lie to you. Because, like I said, nobody called me by my government name. But, yeah, it's family, though. It's not just a label. Like, we brothers, man. Like, we'll talk. He needs something, he'll call me. If I need something, I call him. So, yeah, it goes deep.
And I also noticed August of 2017, you actually performed at Beats and Beers event with Corrupt of the DPG and also special guest Freeway Rick Ross. I have to ask you, what was that experience like, being able to kick it with Corrupt and, of course, Freeway Rick Ross as well?
Man, it's always an honor. Anytime you're around legends, and, seeing how laid back they is, and, that's some cool people right there, it was definitely a blessing.
And I have to ask you, like, do you think in the future, Boss and Corrupt, might cook up a track together or anything like that?
That's possible, man. I know me and Dash, I chopped it up with Dash. I don't know if you remember, man, but some years ago I chopped it up with Dash. We were supposed to collab, but, I was always on the move. We on the move, so it never happened. But, yeah, that's very likely, because I look up to them.
Hey, man, you can never go wrong with the dog pound, man, most definitely.
Not at all,
And also, I noticed as well that you actually did some work with Lazy Bone of Bone Thugs and Harmony, man. I have to ask you, what's the story behind that? And of course, how did you actually get connected with Lazy Bone?
Man, let me tell you, I had a show, Bone was performing, so, I was already backstage. I was able to chop it up with him backstage. And the funny part is everybody was there except Lazy. So for my first time, like, meeting Bone it was just crazy, wish, flesh, and busy. And, I gave him the heads up, like, who I was, and I told them they was gonna hear from me again, and I just focused on the grind, and me and Lazy ended up running into each other on another note, and when we ran into each other, he knew I was, an artist with Flip, and he was excited. I just remember him being like super excited, and he was ready, man. He was talking about the video before we even got in the studio to do the song, and it was just it was crazy. It was crazy, you know what I'm saying? And the chemistry was live, like we always knew each other, And I remember, I remember telling them, like, we grew up to their music, so it's definitely like, yeah, I can't believe it. So, and speaking on that too, I just recently did another song. Me, Crazy and Lazy. We just collabed on another. It's a new song, and we shoot for radio, everything. So I don't want to say too much, but that's coming real soon, man. That thing like blazing.
Hey man, most definitely a song like that. You want to keep the fans anticipating for that release. You don't want to give it.
Okay.
You don't want to let all the cats out of the bag all at once.
Yeah, but we coming hard with this one. This one ain't no. And I got a few other surprises on that track too. I talked to Do or Die from Chicago, so you know what I'm saying. They actually trying to get on the song too. So like I said, I don't want to give too much out, but this new single gonna be fire.
And as we already know, I know you're signed to Little Flip, but also you were part of the Clover Gang. If you can, tell us a bit more about that, and how did you get connected with the other members of the Clover Gang?
Clover Gang is nothing but that's Clover G. That's Clover G. La Familia. Clover Gang, just a short, and everybody know Clover G's. The other artists, like we spread it. It's he got artists like all over the world, man. Like Nuck, Young Nuck from I think he's from Milwaukee, if I'm not mistaken. Chris goes from Dallas, and they just everywhere. So I remember we had recently had a meeting. We had a meeting. Everybody had to come to Houston, no matter where you was from. You had to get on that plane, come to Houston, and we definitely already knew each other because we talked. We had to Flip had us wear suits, and and that's one thing I look up to Flip, man. He was in that meeting. He was telling all of us he wanted to teach us how to be bosses, our own individual bosses. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was real. Like, I never seen nothing like that. I said, man, that's a real dude. Take time out of his schedule to do that.
And also, last year you actually released a joint project called Thrill Kingdom with King Morocco. I have to ask you, how did you get connected with King, and what was it like working on that project with him?
That's King Marco. It's called Thrill Kingdom. And Marco is like my brother, man. That's one of my day one homeboys. Like he from Beaumont too, and my opinion, like one of the hardest Info 9. So we had to collab. It was just because we two humble people, man. We wasn't competing with each other, and we collabed, and man, that was like that's a banging project right there. Y'all gotta get it, man. We got Young Noble from the Outlaws. We got Lil Boss from ABN, you know what I'm saying? That's Trey the True Cousin. We got Zero on that thing. We got, who else we got, man? It's a couple others I can't remember right now, but that thing is hot.
And also, when you brought up Young Noble, that was actually one of my next questions, man. You were actually featured on Outlaw Nation Volume 6. I have to ask you, can you tell us a bit more about that project? And of course, how did you actually meet Young Noble of the Outlaws?
Noble, my favorite rapper was Tupac. So, it was only right that, I was in touch with Outlaws. So I was always, like, not just music, like just in Texas, like a family, and we was always cool. And I think, you know, I'm on volume 5 and 6. And I remember he called me just out the blue one day. He was like, hey, he said, hey, bro, I'm doing this Thug Nation album. He said, you want to jump on it? I was like, yeah. And that was, you know, volume 5. And volume 6 came, did the same thing. He was like, hey, I'm about to close the album out, man. You want to get on it? I got a track for you. He slid the track to me. And, you know, knocked it out, got it out the way, so... yeah.
And I gotta say, man, you know, Young Noble, I think it was Outlaw Nation Volume 5, man, had one of the most powerful songs I have ever heard, man, in all of my times listening to music. The song was called Wounds, man. You could feel the hair just stand up on your arms, man, when you actually listen to that track.
Yeah, I like that one, too.
And also, man, you actually released your album Boss, built off self-success in 2019. I have to ask you, tell us the inspiration behind that record, and of course, man, where can our listeners buy or stream themselves a copy of your newest record?
Okay, that came about, you know, it's self-explanatory. It was, you know, getting everybody acquainted with who I was, and build off self-success, just meaning independent. I was independent. At the time, I turned down a couple of deals. And I wanted to do it on my own. There was something I wanted to do on my own, just be hands-on, and, you know, gain my own little success. And I had a lot of help on there. Like you said, I had Lazy Bone on there. I got Young Noble on there. I got Project Pet on that thing, Zero on that thing. Yeah, that thing was like, it was my debut on Clover-DB Familia, so I didn't want to come ordinary. I came hard with it. I wasn't playing with this one, so.
Most definitely, man. It's always good to come hard with your first record. You know what I mean? First impressions are always the best, man. But you know, you came with it hard, man. Like you said, Young Noble, Lazy Bone, man. You had some heavy hitters on that record for sure.
Indeed.
And if you don't mind me asking, man, pertaining to that record, is there any hard copies available for the old school listeners that really like that CD format?
Yeah. See, I got a lot of people that have been asking for like the hard copies and autograph signs. So like I'm working on that right now. I'm gonna get the hard copies. And anybody want a hard copy, it's fine. Y'all can get at me on social site or email, and I will get you a hard copy. I will autograph sign it, all that good stuff, you know. So you still got people that just really want the hard copy, you know, and the rest. You know, I love the digital, though, because that's worldwide. You know, you reaching everybody, but you got some people that still want that hard copy. So I will go out my way and mail off a hard copy if that's what they want.
And also, back in August, you released the single I-10 Connected, man, which I have to say is a phenomenal song, by the way, man. We've been having it spinning here for the past couple months here on Outlaw Radio, and the listeners have been loving it, man. But I have to ask you, what's the story behind that song? Because tonight I'm going to be playing it directly after our interview, man. So the listeners that didn't have the opportunity to hear it, man, I want them to hear the story behind it from the man himself.
Okay, that's a bit, man. I appreciate y'all, too. Yeah, I think Connected is actually a way of life, you know, down south in Texas. You know, so I did go from the south all the way to East Coast. So, you know, I-10 is everywhere. It covers a whole lot of ground, you know, everywhere. So, but I-10 Connected is, me and Shasta was actually supposed to do an album together. We was going to do an album together, and Shasta was like, man, we're gonna call it I-10 Connected. But Shasta, like I told you, my work ethic is crazy. Like, I work fast. I'm always in the studio. I'm always recording. And Shasta had a few personal problems where, you know, he had to tend to with the family, and he wasn't able to, like, get in the studio, like, talking about. So I was always working. So I really didn't, you know, put the song together. I was just waiting on him. And, I just worked so fast, I ended up just putting together until he was able to come to the studio. Then I ended up doing the remix. When I did the remix, that's when, you know, you hear Shasta, you hear Flip, you know, and it coming together just fine, man. Like, you got, people don't know, Sean Solo Jemison is a platinum producer in Houston. He produced the beat. We got James Hoover, which is he legendary. That's Zero engineer. You know, he mixed the whole thing. So you got number legends on there from the rappers to the producer to the engineer. And that's why it came out, you know, as successful as it did.
And I also read as well that later this month on October 25th, you will actually be receiving a Houston Hip Hop Award. I have to ask, how does it feel knowing that you are receiving this award?
Let me tell you, man, like the first, I think it was like 3 years ago, my first experience at the awards in Houston was, Flip, I got a call that Flip had like 2 awards. So I called Flip, I'm like, hey, you got 2 awards you need to go pick up. He told me he wasn't going to be able to make it because I think he had a show that night. So when he told me to go pick up his award. So when I picked up his award, man, I was able to get that experience to be there, be amongst all the other stars, and it was amazing, man. And I remember telling myself, I said, the next time I come to an award ceremony, I will be wearing one of my own. So for it to actually to speak it into existence like that, for it to happen, it's amazing. I can't believe it. And yeah, they give me an award for the single. You know what I'm saying? For one of the hottest singles. You know what I'm saying? That's been playing on radio everywhere, including you know over there with you know in Canada. So it's amazing. It's crazy.
And I gotta say, from everyone here at Outlaw Radio FM, man, we want us to just extend our congratulations to you, man. And I can tell you this for a fact, that this isn't gonna be your only award, man. You are a phenomenal, talented individual, and I can see you racking home award after award, man. So I would say in advance, buy yourself a trophy case, because they're coming.
Oh, man, I thank you, man. That means a lot, man. No, God bless.
And I gotta ask you, boss, what's next for you, man? Is there anything I happened to miss during this interview? Anything else you still want to talk about or promote? Will we still have you here live on the air?
Yeah, me and Nino Brown from Florida, he called me, man, that like, we actually working on a movie. And I'm not sure if y'all remember Brian Hooks from Three Strikes and Soul Flame.
Oh, yeah, I remember him.
Hooks. Yeah, we got Brian Hooks in there, man. We still trying to get the script together, so that's in the making. I got my clothing line, so, you know, anybody wants clothing line, y'all can get it in, man, and order. And, you know, I deliver it, so, yeah, that's what we're working on. Other than that, you know, that's pretty much it.
And so, boss, this is the time in the interview that I give a chance for the individual that comes on the radio station. Just a chance to give shout-outs to whomever they want to give shout-outs to. And, of course, man, your social media handles. That way our listeners can get at you and also follow you in all your up-and-coming projects if they're not already doing so.
Okay. So, okay, like, yeah, they can get at me. Facebook, you know, Chris Edwards. Instagram, Clover G Boss 32. My fan page is Clover G Boss _ fan page. You know, that's pretty much it. And my email, clovergboss32@gmail.com. Y'all want to book any shows or anything? So, and yeah, that's about it.
And I gotta say, boss, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy evening and coming on 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM, man. It was an absolute honor and most definitely a privilege, and I hope down the line we can make this happen again. But for now, man, congratulations again on your award, and I'm looking forward to hearing some of your new and up-and-coming projects when they do get released.
Oh, for sure, man. Thank you, man.
You are most certainly welcome, man. Have yourself a wonderful night.
How about you too?